GM, what's good, people? It is currently 15 minutes past 5 p.m. UK time, Sunday, the 15th of March, 2026. Welcome to episode 23 of Mycelink Sundays, which is the free weekly webinar covering everything from the realms of geopolitics, trading, mainly crypto futures trading, mind you, because we don't trade Forex around here. Sorry, let me just turn off the football. Okay, football off. What was I saying? Yes, this is a free weekly webinar every single Sunday, 5 p.m. UK time. Check your time zones. We cover an array of subjects from geopolitics, meme coins, crypto futures trading, long-term stocks investing. My wife even does a health and wealth meditation. Hopefully she'll make it this session. Announcement for anybody who's looking for Krog. Krog is in Sri Lanka and he will be taking time off Mycelink as he's our usual geopolitics guy. Yeah, let's get into it. First of all, I'd like to iterate that Mycelink is a decentralized ecosystem birthed in Q4 2025. We are a decentralized ecosystem of like-minded individuals, each with their own opinions, so no individual represents the entire ecosystem. As of time of recording, 15th of March 2026, Mycelink is a non-legal entity, though that may change in future. We, from inception to date of recording, have never sold any product, though that may change in the future. I must iterate that nothing in this video is financial advice. We do not intend to be perceived or received as financial advisors. If you are looking for financial and or legal qualified advice, hit us up and we will put you in connection with somebody in our ecosystem who is qualified. Right, so first things first, I'm going to read an excerpt from my professor, Professor Adam from university.com, the real world. Okay. The macro environment indicator, which he has made, is pretty good despite the current environment, so it's moderately positive. Darius Dale from 42 Macro is saying that oil should be sustaining high levels. Well, oil sustaining high levels would be bad for global liquidity. So while the recent spike isn't enough to derail the world, a sustained leverage high would put a massive amount of pressure on risk on assets. Let's just have a look at this quick chart here. The longer the US, Israel, and Iran war persists, the deeper the reduction in global liquidity and decline in asset markets will be. So we will monitor that situation. Ignore this. Ignore this. So at the moment, the general consensus from studies from my professor is the bottom is roundabout in, which is why I have deployed quite a lot into the market. I know a lot of people are very cash heavy. I'm pretty bullish on crypto, at least in the short term. I think we are going to run up to around 85k. Everything on the technicals of crypto looks good. Let's just take BTC. As we can see here, just to revisit some longer term technicals on the 4 hour, it seems that the bottom was in on the 4th of February 2026. Now, of course, with new information and new chart structures, you know, you have to know when to change your opinion. For example, I did think, and I'm happy to be publicly wrong, that the bottom was in at the end of Q4. You know, that's what we all thought. Technically speaking, this was a bullish pattern, but then I can't remember the exact catalyst why this lower high was set here on the 30th of Jan. But obviously this invalidated this uptrend, and then we went a leg down further. Now, right now, I am not super convinced that we're going to get another leg down further. However, I'm willing to change my mind if we start setting lower highs and lower lows. However, this chart structure does look prime towards the upside, towards, I would say, around 88K, this zone here. So I am long on crypto for now. Obviously, I'm forever long on crypto in the in the long term, but I'm just talking about in the next few weeks, which is the time frame that most people are concerned about, because you guys come here for weekly webinars, right? So we've got multiple on-chain metrics. For example, this one here, provided by CryptoCon is the Bitcoin binary coin days destroyed index, which is at the ultra low. The last time we were this low was literally in the 2023 bear market, and the lows of mid 2024. If anybody was around crypto in that period, it was a brutal slide down in that time. I think the worst is over for now. If you go to coinmarketcap.com, like think about what the matrix is perpetuating right now in terms of the news, and what the matrix, BBC, Sky News, etc., is feeding to most NPCs. The general population is scared. However, if you look at quantitative data, for example, the fear and greed index, you can see here that we bottomed out at number 5. Coin market cap fear and greed index, all-time low ever in the history ever of coin market cap's fear and greed index, lower than ever before. That was at number 5. That was at number 5 on the 6th of February 2026. We're now on 32. We've literally escaped extreme fear into fear. We're on number 32. We've gone from 5 to 32. Whilst amongst all this war. So I encourage everyone to always be taking in qualitative data, things from on-chain metrics, RSI, MACD, chart structure, and put that data set above the news. In fact, what I like to do is, and I said this to my my dev, Mxthaius. By the way, Mxthaius is going to be doing a section as well. We like to watch because of Tariq, we like to watch mainstream news to basically counter trade mainstream news. So, for example, you know what was a really, really dope bottom signal or reversal a signal for me was that Boris Johnson, or whoever controls Boris Johnson, because he's a fucking muppet and he's a puppet, he tweeted on his personal Twitter how Bitcoin is a Ponzi scheme. And then you've got Jim Cramer, who, if you backtest everything Jim Cramer says in the past 5 years, the market basically does the opposite of what he says. So you got Jim Cramer saying that you should sell your BTC and that it's a scam. And then you have Boris Johnson, who I still can't understand how he managed to be the Prime Minister of the UK. But hey, everything's a joke. Tweeting about Bitcoin being a Ponzi scheme. So I'm very, very confident in the upside of crypto for now. If you weren't buying at these levels, I understand it was very scary to buy at these levels because it wasn't a confirmed uptrend. But I mean, I've seen thousands of charts in my life, and if you didn't know about the wars and you didn't know what was going on in the world, and you looked at this chart, you would say that this chart is primed to break out towards the upside. Let's have a look at some on-chain metrics. The derivative markets are so fucking bearish, and even the checkmate liquidation dominance chart is showing we're creeping into a short liquidation regime, potentially bullish. Looks absolutely silly to me. Why can't I open these? Okay, I see that. All these shorts getting liquidated. This is an on-chain metric by chart.checkonchain.com. It's the Bitcoin perpetual futures funding rate, and as we can see here, we have reached this low here, and usually this marks the bottom. Short term is really all we can look at currently. The war and its effects on oil will control everything, and it's in the whims of politicians. Resolution of this war will be one of the most bullish things you could imagine. Resolution of this war would be one of the most bullish things you could imagine. I think there will be a resolution. An extended conflict will damage risk appetite so much that significant pivots will need to be made. Capping the current stream's thoughts off with a few cool posts I found on X. We'll skip over that. Let's just read the summary, and then I'm going to go into a little tweet string that I did. So short term, in a month, my professor predicts that the duration of crypto recovery almost entirely dependent on the state of oil. The higher oil goes, the worse for crypto in the medium term. We want to see a pullback to give BTC some strength. Let's have a look at oil for a second. Oil. Okay, damn, oil's at 99. It's a very irregular chart pattern. I don't know. I wouldn't long or short oil at this moment in time. It's very narrative based. This is not giving me any kind of clear structure to long or short. I did make money on the oil long on the breakout, but I wouldn't personally trade oil in today's environment. It's not clear to me. You have to understand that with technical analysis and just when you spend a lot of time on charts, the chart doesn't always give you a good indication of where it's going. You can't always look at a chart and say it's going to go up or down. Well, you can say it's going to go up or down, but often chart patterns are not so clear on the probabilistic directional bias. So this is why you have to keep checking back, and then find certain patterns, such as, is there a price where is there a specific price where price seems to bounce up from or bounce down from? Is there a clear trend? The answer, in my opinion, in oil is no right now. So we'll monitor that situation. The bottom is roughly in. There is no point attempting to define bull or bear markets. Better to conceptualize probabilistic future returns with macro data. I agree. I used to be somebody like most people, and many people who might be watching right now, be obsessed with, is it a bull or bear market? Now I kind of just accept that the money printer will be on forever, and we will be in multiple stages of contraction and expansion in the market, and it's up to you as a smart investor and trader, with, I guess you could say, good self-awareness of who you are, to position yourself accordingly, to best suit your situation in terms of where you are in your net worth, where you are in your knowledge, and where you are as a person, to be able to navigate in the markets accordingly. Because, to be completely honest and going like a small rant, I used to be the biggest fundamentals spot swing DCA buy the dip type investor in the previous cycle. Much like multiple hedge funds and smart people, I've made quite a few mistakes between now and the past 2-3 years in the market, in terms of not exiting as quickly as I'd like to, better than most people, but not as quickly as I'd like to, not buying as aggressively on certain dips. Like Q1 2025, that was crazy, right? Donald Trump got elected in November 2024. Q1 was crazy. I saw my first red quarter in like 6 quarters, 5-6 quarters, had 5-6 green quarters, red quarter, Q1 25. Didn't buy enough of the dip in April 2025. And then I was more deployed in the markets, let's say like May, June 2025, right? So we've had to adapt to such environments, which is why, as of the past few months, I've been super big on futures trading. I'm making an absolute killing in the futures market. As you can see on our Discord group today, we shouted a 50 and 60x, which is crazy. We've got Cryzo catching a 700%. Working on an automated trading bot with Mxthaius as well, which should be amazing. Yeah, I digress. High volatility, low returns in most asset classes. On Walsh, Kevin Walsh, the next head of Fair, taking Fed share until his policies are clearly communicated. I do believe the Fed chair, Kevin Walsh, will be in Trump's cabinet. I think that he will reduce interest rates, as him and Kevin Walsh and the Trump family have quite a lot of ties, versus the Trump family and the current Fed chair, Jerome Powell. BTC gold ratio looks primed in BTC's favor. Let's just revisit that. So Bitcoin in the price of gold. It's currently 14 ounces of gold for 1 BTC, as gold is around $5,000. With Bitcoin being sitting on 70K right now. As this goes up and it costs more and more, as this goes up and it costs more and more ounces of gold per BTC, it basically means that Bitcoin's outperforming gold. This chart has been declining since July 2025. The last time it was in an uptrend was between the lows of the 2022-2023 bear market, literally right here, November 2022. This one Bitcoin was 16K. Okay, this one Bitcoin was 16K at this time. We're in an uptrend between the end of 2022 till the end of 2024. And then we've pretty much been in a slow downtrend. So I do expect this to be the support. And for it to cost more and more ounces of gold for BTC, I do believe that the rotation is round the corner. The copper gold ratio. Let's have a look at the copper gold ratio. A generational low. Can we go lower? Yes, of course. But when this turns round, and it will turn round, Look at this RSI. The last time the copper gold ratio RSI was this low on the monthly was May 2020. The bottom's in soon. The bottom is in soon, if not already. Global liquidity cycle being driven mostly by China. You know what I think is very interesting when we zoom out? When I look at liquidity, let me show you this, the long-term trend. Okay, so look here. We can see that the most liquidity the Fed had available to deploy in assets in the past 3 years was in January, well, Q1 24. Ever since we've been declining, but this looks like the bottom of the net Fed liquidity, and this looks like the top of the savings account. I expect this to go up this year and this to go down, which is basically good for risk on assets. Let's go over to Twitter or X. Did a little tweet string. Oil. The world is now experiencing its largest oil supply shock in history, losing nearly 20 million barrels of oil supply per day. Top oil supply shocks. Just come off camera.
Yo, we can't hear you. Yo, are you there?
I also can't hear him, so maybe we text him.
Yeah, 1 second.
Tried, I tried just now to call Matthias. I dropped the text.
Yeah, I've just done the same thing.
Oh my God, I've been mute this whole.
Yeah, bro,
Oh my God, I've been mute this whole time.
we've been ringing you, bro.
Oh, fuck's sake, man.
Who's Crypto Boss 1972?
This is my guy from the Caribbean.
All right, okay.
Oh, guys, technical issues, technical
So
issues,
does
technical
he does
issues.
he have Caribbean female friends for research
Huh?
purposes?
That's cool.
What was that?
Does your friend have Caribbean female friends for research purposes?
Does he have female friends? For what?
No, female Caribbean friends.
Female Caribbean friends?
Yes, for research purposes.
For research, but to be honest, I'm trying to know as well. But we can leave that for a different convo.
Fuck's sake, guys. I'm sorry if everyone watching the replay. We just had some technical issues, and apparently I've been mute for like 7 minutes. Um, okay, so let me just try to think about what I said. Okay, so basically what I said was I've changed my mind on gold. Gold has broken this structure as of the 12th of March. 3 days ago, I'm bearish on gold. Gold has broken its trend line. It has set a lower high. I think the uptrend has been invalidated, and I expect gold to go down and retest 4844. So I've exited my gold long lots in loss because I want to be honest with you guys when I get things wrong, and I'm going to look for gold shorts. That's where I am with gold. That's where I am with silver. Russell 2000. Sorry, the Russell 2000. Let's have a look. Yes, I think we're going to pull back in the Russell 2000 to 2310. However, I'm still bullish on crypto, even though we're getting pullbacks in all the majors. Nvidia, I think Nvidia is going to consolidate and pull down. Same with Apple stock. Same with Amazon. Microsoft has already formed a bearish pattern. Amazon, and this is not financial advice saying like go short all the top tech stocks, but this is me saying I think all the top 10 stocks are going to go down. Same for Meta, same for Tesla. I'm basically short-term bearish on every single top major tech stock, and I iterate that I'm still bullish on crypto at the same time. I think the market the market makers, not market manipulators, the market makers / market manipulators, and smart money have realized that retail are getting smarter and smarter, so the game is getting harder. Do you know how they say the rich get rich and the poor get poorer? In trading and investing, I think we're moving into a new era where people who lose money, or the amount of people that would have lost X amount of money, there's now more people losing even more money. But then there's a smaller amount of people that are making even more money. That's the crazy part. Like, let me go to, for example, just a random altcoin. We'll go to Dego, right? 1 second. Okay, so I'm in a Dego short right now. I'm not saying you should get in the short, but this short here, right? Let's say this price retests here on 7x leverage swing, which I'm not recommending you do, but that's what I'm in. That's 560% on the way down. This is clearly a bearish chart structure, and this is a completely unnatural climb. And then when you do research on most of these shit coins, absolutely diabolical. I don't even understand what the products are, shit coins, but somehow are on centralized exchanges. This is where you can make insane money because there's insane liquidity for shitty cryptos. Just short them and long them when it makes sense. Not financial advice. Right, that's my rant over. I'm basically TLDR, bullish on crypto in the short term. I think there is insane opportunities to trade right now in both scalping, swinging, and day trading. My strategy is I am scalping with high leverage a lot of shit coins that are on Binance, but doing it on BitUnix because Binance gives the liquidity. Swing trading with mid leverage majors such as Ethereum, Solana, and Bitcoin, right? Let's say you caught a swing trade from the 9th, right? So literally 6 days ago. Solana did a 13% move. Mid leverage is anything from, let's say, 4 to 7x. That's a nice trade, right? That's what I'm doing in the market right now. I don't know exactly when the bottom is in. I'm not trading meme coins at all right now, which is why I'm not going to go on Dex Screener. The only meme coins that I'm accumulating on spot is Pengu, and I do believe in Pump. I think they're doing great things. And yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. So that's my little macro bit done. Cryzo, you want to talk about futures? Put them on some game.
Yeah, sure.
All right, let's go.
Just give me a sec. Let me Okay, I'm ready. Right. So you guys know Mateus. Oh wait, there's no one in here, bro.
There's no one in here.
No.
Yeah, fuck it, man. Still,
I'll try.
I don't
I'll
know.
show you guys this. Yeah, check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Mycelink. If you're looking for a community of professional traders to trade gold, join our network of traders. Mycelink for free. Guys, looking. He's like, oh, trading signals. We've helped hundreds. Trading tips. Trading together. Just saying. A quick ad. Couldn't do us any harm. Right. So this is what I've been doing for everyone that's here. The massive audience. Um, trading. I've been trading ETH mainly, but not really been trading salt and these shit coins here. Like for my man for the signals we get in the Mycelink group chat. I think everyone should join that. The massive audience that we've got here. Um, and there's this signal, there's this indicator. I mean that our boy Mateus developed, and oh my days has it been doing wonders, right? So we'll look for a signal, look for something crazy to happen, and then once we want to enter a position, we'll wait for one of these little triangles pointing in the direction that we want to go in, and then we enter. So far it's been pretty good. In terms of where the direction of stuff is going, I don't think we're going up. This is the 7 day. We've got a lot of liquidity on the downside. But the 30 day, same thing here. A lot of liquidity. 90 day too. The only thing that's going to be bullish. Oh, even the 180 day. Yep. So in my opinion, very bearish at this point. I wouldn't be looking for long positions in the long term. Right now, I think the bottom is not in. I think it can go even lower, and I do think we are in a bearish market. This is proof for it. You know what I mean? Like when there's loads of liquidity to the downtrend, and it's just constant fear of going down even more, then you can't deny that's bearish, bro. What's going on here? Whoa. Yeah, it's like that's the 90 day. Anything below that is bearish. But I would be looking at this point 72.3, 72.29, or an ETH. I'll be looking at for the point. Actually, it's not that well pinpointed on here, but I'm looking to go short anyways. Yeah, so for some of this liquidity to be cleared, 21.4 go short. You can also catch some quick scalps. If you catch it near the bottom of this end, a lot of liquidity is gonna go up. Like we'll have a bit of a scalp upwards. You can catch that with 100x, 150. Now, I want to show you guys something because in our group chat, um, we've got this guy's trades here, Anita. So whenever he says a trade, right, I'm just gonna go back to. I'm gonna go back here, yeah. So look, he's watching the coin is called the, right? I'm gonna pull it up. Now it was around here, innit? Real shit, real shit. Where is it? We're gonna try to find this. Uh, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Right, there was a massive pump. I mean, dump even. It's like on here too. And if you see, it called it right here, HARSI. That's where it called it to the downside. So if you were to catch it, it would have been on this candle here, right? You would have caught it at the top as well. And you could have rid it all the way down till you got a till you got a signal going up, which would have actually been all the way over here because there was no upward signal except right. Let's go on a 5 minute. Yeah, even on the 5 minute, you didn't have an upward signal. I need to clear these bubbles. Uh, that didn't even help. But yeah, you would have caught it around here. You would have taken a bit of drawdown around here, then you would have still caught it. My bad for this being so small, bro. Yeah, you entered it, gone down maybe 200%. But if you're on cross margin, you should be entering with like roughly like $5, $10.
Bro, there's
You know,
hella
even though
background noise, man.
I know
Oh shit. So that's crypto.
it's a crypto bus. Um, but yeah, this tool, Mateus, you fucking killed it, honestly. Um, like I'm a big advocate of RSI. So to have a RSI reversal indicator to pinpoint exactly when the reversals are, that's great. So now if you're looking at a big upwards trend in BTC or so for example, ETH, right? Um, we'll slap it on these two, right? We'll put ETH on. Now we're still in an uptrend, okay? Big uptrend. If you're looking to short this, right, you'd wait for an arrow down. You could have caught this here, right? If you were looking for a long, which I was, I'll be real, I was looking for a long and I entered, but then I exited just because of doubts. Um yeah, you would have entered here and caught it up here still. You would still be in the trade. You'd be waiting until you got a downwards signal. But yeah, it's like sniper entries, man. Sniper entries, bro. Yeah, in terms of what's going on with crypto, yeah, like I said, we are bearish. I'm gonna have a look at BTC's chart overall on the 4 hour. Yeah, Ninja was drawing these lines and stuff like that. I rate it. Um, if you were going to short, you'd want to be shorting around the top of this range. So it's already been marked. Um, but like this, roughly around here is kind of the top of where we've been trading. So anywhere around the top is not a bad shot. Even if it's for a scalp and you do think it's going to continue going up, that's the thing. Um, and yeah, you'd be targeting around here. Now, every single time we've had a bottom, we've had these CVD bubbles, these orange ones. That shows us there's a lot of people being liquidated. Um, a lot of longs have been liquidated, and it's usually bullish. Shows us that we're gonna go up soon, and we've also been having perfect green CVD bubbles at the peaks of places. So also not a bad indicator. Now, in terms of what price action is telling us for the like next few hours, next few days, um, yeah, it broke out bullish signal. Now we're in an uptrend. It is bullish. Higher highs, high lows. Um, this we'll see how this goes. If it marks up above this, then it's a continuation upwards. If it just ends somewhere around here, starts to go down, that's a like what's it called? It's like a it's a resistance. Oh, what's this? It kind of looks like a head and shoulders pattern. You know what I mean? But I don't really know what to call it. It's ugly as hell. Um, But yeah, we can in the short term we can aim down here for 75 if we don't continue up from here. But who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Personally, I think we're gonna run up to these points. 21.35 on ETH and on BTC. We've just got a bit of liquidity up, so 72.4. So 21.35. I think we're gonna run up to on my days. Yeah, 21. Just a bit more, We're gonna run up a bit more and then we're gonna crash down, is what I think personally. Yeah, and you really can't ignore these bubbles here. Big signs, big signs. Big things coming. BTC, yeah, a bit more up. Before we're gonna crash down. Big crash is coming. But yeah, honestly, guys, that's it for me. If you want some more confirmation on the bottom is not being in, watch Matthew CBM, and you will get some clear information. Now, I don't know what we're gonna do now. I think we're gonna pass it to our dev, Mxthaius.
First dev section, let's go.
First dev section. Personally, I'd love to know about how I can use some of this deving to improve my skills as a trader. So yeah, I'd love to. I'm ready. I'm ready for you, Mxthaius.
I'm not Mxthaius.
Can everyone hear me great, yeah? Cryzo, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's just get into it.
You're
So firstly, I want to say hello, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm just going to be speaking about, what nobody really tells you about being a developer, just kind of what it means to be a developer, the issues you face and how to iterate and kind of just how coding is not just about languages and frameworks and tools, but what being a developer is actually like behind the scenes. Because from the outside, development can look straightforward. People can imagine a developer sits down, writes code, and suddenly an app appears, a website or platform appears. But in reality, development is much messier than that. It is creative, frustrating, exciting, and most times unpredictable. So what I want to do over the next 10, 15 minutes is just break down what nobody tells you about being a developer, especially when you are building things for real people and real use cases. The first thing that nobody tells you, that development is not really about code. It's about solving problems. So code is just a tool. The real job is solving a problem. For example, someone might say, can you build me a website? But that is not the real problem. The real problem might be that the person needs more customers, or they may need to automate something, or they need users to understand how they can produce content more clearly. So as a developer, you are constantly translating problems into systems. You are asking, what actually needs to happen here? What is the simplest way to make this work? And what matters most to the end user? This is a big mindset shift. A lot of people begin learning development thinking about success means memorizing syntax or knowing every single function or rule. But over time, you realize that the best developers are often the ones who know the most off the top of their head. They are the ones who can break problems down clearly and work through them step by step. Now, the second thing nobody tells you about being a developer is it's not about writing code. It's about thinking, testing, and debugging. This surprises a lot of people, as a big part of development is reading documentation, checking why something is failing, testing different approaches, finding edge cases, and fixing issues that you did not expect in the first place. Sometimes you can spend hours stuck on something very small, a missing bracket, a wrong variable name, a version mismatch, logic error, or even something as simple as a typo. And that can be frustrating, especially when you are starting out, because it makes you feel like you're not making any progress, but that is progress. Debugging is a side part of development. It is a core part of development. In fact, one of the most biggest differences between a beginner and an experienced developer is not that the experienced developer never gets stuck. It's that they have learned how to stay calm when they do get stuck. They know how to isolate the issue. They know how to test assumptions. They know when to search properly. And most importantly, they know that bugs are part of the process, not proof that they have bad or what to do. Crypto Boss, you must mute your mic. Thank you, bro. The third thing that nobody tells you about is your first version will never be your best version. A lot of people delay building because they want things to be perfect when they start. They want the architecture perfect, the design perfect, the features perfect, the branding perfect. But in development, perfection too early is often the enemy of progress. The truth is, most products start rough, most ideas change once you begin building, and most assumptions get tested by reality, real use cases, how it's applied in the real world. You might start with one vision and then realize users want something else. You might think a feature is essential and realize nobody else uses it. You might be building something in a complicated way and later replace it with a much simpler solution. That is normal. A working version teaches you that an imagined perfect version will never exist. That is why one of the best habits in development is learning to build a small, test early, and improve as you go. Starting with the core thing that needs to work, prove that first, then later improve that on top. Someone once told me that the best thing you can do is make something real first, then make it better later. The fourth thing that nobody tells you about is good development is also communication. A lot of people think development is solo technical skill, but in reality, communication matters a lot. You need to communicate with clients, with users, with teammates, sometimes with designers, and sometimes even with yourself through the way you structure your code. You need to learn to explain technical things simply. You need to ask the right questions before building. You need to understand what somebody means, not just what they say. This matters because people often ask for one thing when they actually need another. For example, someone may say that they want 10 features, but what they really need is a simple system that solves one pain point very well. If you only listen at surface level, you can spend time building the wrong thing. So being a developer is not just about making software function, it is making the right things function in the right way for the right people. The fifth thing that nobody tells you about is tools keep changing. So the real skill is learning how to learn. This is especially true right now. There are new frameworks, new platforms, new AI tools, new workflows, new trends. If you base your entire confidence on one tool, one stack, or one way of working, you can feel like you're getting left behind very quickly. But the good news is that the deeper skill is not memorizing everything, but the deeper skill is adaptability. Can you learn a new tool when needed? Can you read documentation and make sense of it? Can you experiment without panicking? And can you stay useful when technology changes? This is what makes someone strong long term. And this is one reason why AI is such an interesting part of my development today. AI can help developers move faster. It can help them with boilerplate, debugging ideas, explaining concepts, and speeding up iteration. But AI still does not replace the human side of development. Judgment, product thinking, taste, context, and decision making. So instead of thinking AI will replace developers, I think a better way to look at it is this. AI is becoming a tool inside development, and strong developers will learn how to use it very well. The sixth thing that nobody tells you about development is that it teaches you patience and resilience. This might be one of the biggest hidden lessons. You can spend a full day trying to solve one issue. You can build something that breaks right before a demo. You can feel like you're making no progress, and suddenly everything just clicks. You can have moments where you start to scrap the whole thing and just restart. The emotional side of building is real. Development tests your patience because things often take longer than expected. It tests your resilience because things break. It tests your confidence because sometimes you genuinely do not know the answer. But over time, the process builds something valuable in you. You stop fearing problems as much. You start building more methodical, and you become better at handling uncertainty. You can build in trust in your ability to eventually work things out. And that mindset does not help just in code. It helps in business, in projects, and in trading, and in life generally. Another thing that is worth saying is that users do not care about how clever your code is. They care whether it works and whether it helps them. This is important because developers can often fall into the trap of over-engineering and over-coding. You can build something technically impressive, but if it's confusing, slow, or unnecessary, the user does not benefit. The best solutions are often not the complicated ones, they are the clearest ones. Clean user experience, reliability, speed, and usefulness matter more than trying to show how advanced you are. So sometimes being a better developer is not just adding more, it is about removing what does not need to be there. If I had to summarize the biggest lesson from development, I will put it like this. First, start with what you fully feel is ready. Second, keep things simple at the beginning. Third, expect problems and treat them as part of the process. Fourth, focus on the real user problem, not just a technical task. And fifth, stay adaptable because development is always evolving. To anyone in this development journey, I would say this: do not discourage yourself by how much there is to learn. Every developer starts somewhere, every developer gets stuck, and every developer has messy written code. Every developer has moments when nothing even worked. What matters is consistency. If you keep building, keep testing, keep learning, and keep improving, you will grow, not all at once, but steadily. And that is what development really is: taking ideas, breaking it into parts, solving one piece at a time, and staying with it until something really exists where before there was only an idea. So to close, being a developer is not just about writing code, it's about solving problems, it's about turning ideas into reality, it's about thinking clearly when things go wrong, it's about learning constantly, and it's about building things that actually help people. That is what nobody tells you about being a developer. And in my opinion, it is also what makes it such a powerful skill. But that's all I have to say for today. Thank you so much for having me. And I'm looking forward to the next webinar to go more into depth about AI bots, maybe OpenClaw, Claude Code, LLMs, and just how we can use command line interfaces to just make basic programs, and how we can get into deving all together. Thank you.
That was cold. That was cold. We need to go in less than 5 minutes. Crypto Boss, have you got a question? I will call you one-on-one after this webinar. So I'm gonna jump in the car and go to the sauna. But yeah, any question you'd like to ask publicly on the webinar?
So thank you.
Maybe he's out at the moment. Cryzo, anything you'd like to add before we get off?
No, nothing really, bro.
All right, cool. Yeah, automated trading bot coming soon. And yeah, see you guys on Sundays. Oh, wait, Crypto Boss, has he got something to say? Has he got something to say? You're on mute right now.
Nah, everything is cool. Just putting on my camera, bro.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna catch you one-on-one when I jump in the car. We'll have a quick catch
All
up.
right, cool. No problem.
Respect, bro.
All right.
That's really in the Caribbean. Yeah, that music.
All right.
All right, we sign out now.
Sign.
Sign out.